Hello again, everybody. John with BestPriceNutrition.com. Today we have Christy with New Chapter with us to discuss the New Chapter product, Bone Strength Take Care. We get a lot of questions about this product, so we wanted to cover some of the basics on it. Now, I see, Christy, this is a whole food calcium, magnesium, vitamin D3, and natural K2 complex. So that's quite the mouthful. Can you kind of give us the background on this product, and let's kind of run through the ingredients because there's not too many in there.
Sure. So I think, calcium is really one of those essential supplements to supplement with, but the problem with it has been that calcium is a very poorly absorbed mineral. So the algae source calcium is what Bone Strength Take Care is made with. This is really important because it's actually the most bioavailable form of calcium. It's the most easily absorbed by the body, and we can talk about what we're doing with that a little bit. But to touch on the other points, we include the probiotic D3 in with that algae source calcium because, we all want more vitamin D this time of year anyway, in general, and this time of year especially as we're going into the winter months, but it does help you absorb your calcium. By using the probiotic D, that is culturing that vitamin D so that you're absorbing it better. It's helping you absorb the calcium better. And then that third piece that you mentioned, the natural vitamin K2, specifically the MENQ7, this has really been the missing link in calcium supplementation in the past. The MENQ7 is really, that vitamin K2 is really what is essential to pull the calcium from the blood into your bones where you need it. This is where you're going to start to improve bone density. The other piece of that that's so important is it's preventing calcium deposits elsewhere in the body. There's been a problem in the past that when people were taking calcium that was poorly absorbed, not only were they getting calcium deposits elsewhere in the body, but it started to affect cardiovascular health. It led to hardening of the arteries, kidney stones. So, it's important to absorb the calcium, obviously to increase your bone density, but we also want to prevent other health problems from occurring from taking a calcium supplement.
So in the past, it was always thought, I'll just take CalMag and I'm good. And as you mentioned, calcium, it's literally a rock. So you have to get a form that's absorbable, and you mentioned the vitamin K, and you mentioned MENQ7. For those of you who have any concerns with vitamin K, if you're on some kind of medication, obviously you always consult with your doctor, but you can go to MENQ7.com, is that the website? And they actually address this issue specifically, so you can check and read for yourself.
And then just to touch on it as well, we talked about it being the main piece of the product is the calcium. It's algae source calcium. And I should mention that we are using a calcium called Lithothamnium calcareus. It's a red algae. Why this is significant, it actually has the most calcium content, the very reason you're taking the product, but it's actually the most clinically backed algae source calcium on the market. Not only clinically studied to support bone health, but actually shown to support cardiovascular health and digestive health as well. It also comes with great trace mineral support. It has 74 trace minerals along with the calcium. So a really comprehensive calcium product, really available to the body, and also great additional trace mineral support with that product as well too.
And the goal of this product is to actually increase bone or stop bone loss. Like, how would you?
Well, I suppose it could be a little bit of both, So one, you're taking calcium for many reasons, so you want to make sure you're taking a calcium that is actually going to be absorbed by the body. But when you have that really available calcium along with that K2 that's really pulling into the bones, that's where you're going to start to get those kind of results.
You could actually grow bone, so to speak. At the very least, you're going to stop bone loss, which is ideally what we want to do. Ideally, we want to grow bone, be the main thing we want to do. Whereas I know there's a lot of women out there, especially after menopause, that the real concern is the loss of bone density. So would you say, I assume anyone should take this, but starting specifically with females, that would be your target.
And it is really great for everyone. You will actually get a mini Bone Strength Take Care in all of our enhanced multis, which includes the men's multivitamins. Calcium's important for many things, including cardiovascular health. But bone health, obviously very specific concern, and yes, absolutely. So it's the trifecta in calcium support. You're getting the algae source calcium, the most clinically backed algae source calcium, the most available to the body, your probiotic D, and that MENQ7, which has really been the missing link to driving that calcium to the bones to actually increase bone strength and density.
Gotcha. I think sometimes we fall in the trap of thinking of bone as like this coat rack or this piece of plastic that we just hang all of our flesh on, but it is actually a living organism within our body. Not an organism per se, but it's a living organ that we have to give it all the nutrients that it needs to grow and take care of itself. So I think this is a really good product. If you guys have any questions about it, please go ahead and post them in the blog or in the comments. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Chrissy, thank you for your time today, and thank you.